So a little while ago, a company called Little Valentine got in touch with me and asked me if I would be prepared to do a review on their own brand of Nerf darts. A little while after, they sent me a box full of assorted flavours of foamy vengeance, which should totally be the title of like a 1980s action movie. I've given them quite a thorough testing. I've shot them an awful lot. Hopefully I can give you a pretty decent understanding of what this product is and allow you to make up your mind whether or not it's something you want to invest in. One of the things that I want to do, because one of the issues that I've had with third-party darts in the past has been their construction. So, in the name of science, we are going to pull these darts apart, cut them up, and have a bit of a look at them. So we're going to start with one of the Megas. Now, these tips are, I mean, they're vinyl. They're obviously harder than standard Nerf Megas, but they compress quite nicely, and they do feel a bit more solid down at the base, but there is a lot of compression space between the tip of the dart and the base, so I don't think that that would be a particular issue. Now if we pull that off, it took quite a lot of foam with it, and these heads do seem to be glued on pretty well. And what I want to see, if we can get this open, and kids, please don't try this at home. There we go. Is just how much and what kind of plastic is inside. Now, that head was on there pretty well, but if you stripped the head off and got hit with that piece of plastic, the edges are pretty solid, but actually it does flex quite nicely. So I think you probably would be sort of alright. If the head got stripped off and you got hit with that piece of plastic, I don't think it would do you any great deal of damage. The waffle tip. So this is the Little Valentine waffle head dart, and this is one that comes from ekind. And to be honest, I'm not even going to bother taking these apart. They're both about the same. They're both pretty squishy. The Little Valentine one might be a tiny bit firmer, but they're pretty much the same dart. The Little Valentine post hole might be a shade smaller, and in fact I think the foam stock is also a shade smaller, so the ekind is probably going to give you a slightly tighter fit. If we take one of the NFSTRIKE accufakes and do the same. Indeed, the NFSTRIKE accufakes are, by the looks of it, marginally bigger foam stock than the darts from Little Valentine. So you may find that you get a better air seal out of these, though the performance difference between these two when I shot them was pretty negligible, to be honest. Right, so this yellow dart is an ekind elite head dart, and this is the little Valentine dart. Foam stock on these and the post hole look pretty identical. The thing that I want to demonstrate with the ekind dart, because this is an issue that I have come up against, is inside of this dart is a relatively big lump of reasonably solid plastic. And just to highlight that, this is one, I can't remember what brand this dart is, but that solid piece of plastic there is where the head has stripped, and what you're left with is a very, very hard piece of solid moulded plastic. So if you strip the head off and then that hits somebody, you know, that has the potential to do some damage. So what I want to see is what is inside of the little Valentine dart. And quite honestly, that was not very well glued in. I didn't even need the pliers to yank that out. Now, in all fairness, this does feel softer than either the ekind or, you know, whatever that one is. I don't know what that is. We are going to slice this open, and these heads do actually look like they are made in one piece, and they are in fact, I think, moulded in one piece. Obviously the vinyl is harder than whatever the material is that sort of Nerf uses officially, that kind of soft rubber material. However, there it is. And whilst they do feel sort of harder than I would be comfortable with, there is certainly an improvement upon something like that. Okay, so let's break into some of these other darts then. Green one here, which, let's pull the head off. Quite honestly, that was not very well glued in at all. I'm a little bit concerned about the manufacture of this. I mean, you can see just how little glue there is on there. But that is sort of, I suppose, reasonably squishy. Seems to be similar construction to our white one here that we've already cut in half. Now, I do have a concern here, and it is quite a big one, and that is that I was sent 2 packs of blue elite darts, and as you can see, the heads are completely different. One is sort of a good couple of millimeters shorter than the other. Now, I just want to show you this. These are the 2 boxes those darts came out of. And as you can see, they are both labelled identically as Little Valentine 100 piece Elite Series Blue. The only thing that differs is the batch numbers. So that means that if you ordered 100 blue Elite darts from Little Valentine, you could potentially end up with either of these boxes. Now, given that these heads are so different, I want to see what is inside of them, because this one feels the same as our green and our white, and this one feels completely solid. So let's start with the slightly softer feeling one, which is actually, in all fairness, glued in a little bit better. So I think what we have is some inconsistency in terms of manufacturing. Now, I suspect this is going to be the same as our white one, but I am going to open this one up so that we can check. Okay, and yeah, that is essentially the same as our white dart. So that's fine. Or rather, it's consistent with the other darts we have. Now this one is really hard. The tip is wider and flatter, and I'm going to... Again, this one was reasonably well glued in, so I think there's definitely some inconsistency in terms of manufacture, which needs to be addressed by Little Valentine. Now, let's see if... My goodness, this is hard to cut. Ugh. Right, that is what I suspected. What we have here is a completely solid lump, you see that, of vinyl. There is no cushion, there is no buffer, that is not squidgy at all. That is completely solid.
I was 5 years old when it happened. I lost my entire family. I was between bananas and lychees. Turns out they were in canned goods. That 10 minutes changed my life forever. Now I have nothing, which, if you think about it, is something. And I will have my revenge.
So talking first about the Megas then, they performed pretty much as I expected them to. Mega darts have never been the best, but you know, these are alright. The Waffle head darts are pretty much the same as any other Waffle head dart you've ever seen. There's not a great deal of difference in it, they perform pretty much the same, and they're made out of the same sort of material as other third-party Waffle heads and accufakes. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Elite darts. Now, I want to read you from Little Valentine's own packaging. We like to approach every detail from a user's perspective to improve our technology, raise the bar, and make life more interesting. They also say goodbye to first world toys like expensive price and poor quality. Essentially, the problem I have here is that if you are ordering Elite darts from Little Valentine, you have no idea whether you are going to be receiving this, which whilst I don't like this product because it is still more solid than I would like on the tip, it's not absolutely horrendous, it's certainly not the worst product out there. Or you are going to be receiving this, which is a completely solid lump of vinyl on the end of an Elite dart. And I absolutely cannot recommend that you order this product. In fact, I will be emailing Little Valentine with a link to this review. If you've got any other questions, pop it in the comments down below and I will do my absolute best to address anything else that comes up. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will look forward to uploading my next video.